often are advancing our players to a position in our swing that, rather than a progression, we're already putting them in a position where it may be too difficult for their arm to extend, and that is really what I'm looking at here today. What I have found is I don't have to worry about getting my students into that high preparation point, because if I do, what happens is they get up in that high preparation point, bring that racket down, but they never get this extension in their arm. It becomes very difficult, and I think it's just the weakness in the arm, the lack of experience of getting the racket out. So to correct that problem and develop a progression where they will eventually get that racket up and get that arm extended, what we're looking at is starting the racket in a path that's lower and forcing it out. Now let's look at an Eastern grip that's common. If I start it really high and I'm a new player, I may be doing this. We've all seen players at some point doing this where they're not getting the arm extended out. And as I bring the racket up, this distance here is too close. It's easy for me to leave my elbow at my side, which is okay. There is a swing path that can begin that way, but they never get the extension in the arm, and they end up leaving the elbow and they swing across their body. A little solution, a little tip that you can work on, and it is a progression to get to a higher path with the racket in its starting point. However, what we're going to do, and we can do it with a continental grip first, is extend the racket out, extend it out, and keep it more or less low with little circles, out little circles instead of big circles, so that I'm getting my arm away from my body, this extension, before I swing. We can do the same thing with the Eastern grip. So I'm coming out, and you look at how I'm using my left hand to kind of pull the racket out and push it away from me. So I'm getting used to swinging with, again, that extended arm. I'm making contact out here as opposed to getting used to having my elbow in and hitting here. It doesn't take away anything from the long-term development, but what it does is it helps strengthen the arm so that I'm more extended on my shots, as opposed to reinforcing something that is going to be a bad habit to break. So again, getting the racket out first, starting lower in your swing. Don't worry about a high preparation. Lower in your swing. Lower meaning it's never really getting up to my shoulder height. As I develop the strength in my arm and I feel like, okay, I'm consistently getting it out, now we can start bringing the racket higher and through. We've solved the problem of the arm being tucked in, and now we're getting it extended. Again, it doesn't take anything away, but to develop that extension, I need to start the racket path lower, and then as that becomes second nature, then I can start the path higher. Give that a shot. If you're struggling and you find that you're keeping your elbow tucked into your side and it's difficult for you to extend your arm into your swing, try this. See if it helps.